For me personally, I think we can come up with a number of projects that are interesting, but the one that I'm most excited about is a lot of the work that we're doing with public safety. Historically, we've worked with the statewide public safety sector, but the local community is where a lot of public safety gets done, and we're becoming more and more engaged with those folks. The projects like FirstNet, NextGen 911, they're asking for our help. Of course, we're taking the lead on the FirstNet initiative in our state, but that engagement with that community is allowing for a lot of interesting opportunities for us to be an advisor, to get engaged in some of the things that they're doing. The technology is part of the excitement. A lot of times the technology is interesting, but the impact that we're having to the community is maybe equal or more interesting, and public safety is without question a critical service, and being a part of evolving and being there to improve the service that they provide to the community is being challenging and rewarding. There's a lot of things, I guess, that are interesting. Something that's maybe not new in terms of rhetoric is the Internet of Things, but maybe a little more new in terms of the adoption that we're starting to see. The Internet of Things, I think, is changing how we collect data, analyze data. We've got a project going on with our water department. They oversee all the water projects across the state, and they're looking at some telemetry devices that will collect a lot of information at the projects that they're working on. Very low cost, low power devices using solar power because of the remote areas that we're putting these things. So that's pretty interesting. And changing how they do business. They're getting a lot more data. They're getting more quality data, the timeliness of the data, and it's impacting directly how the engineers do their work. So that's one example of where telemetry and the Internet of Things is impacting government, and it's pretty exciting. North Dakota is a highly consolidated state. We've been consolidated at different levels, sometimes from the beginning, largely because of collaboration. If I look at my role specifically with the network, we've never gone through a consolidation exercise because we've been consolidated from the beginning, and that's all predicated on collaboration. And that's at all levels. So we're working with all levels of government, both state and local, because we do run the network across the state government and local governments, including the education sector. So we work with the K-12 community, the higher ed communities, and collaboration is just a part of everything that we do. So it's really been beneficial to us in terms of how we architect and design things and provide services across the state. When you think of new technology, I guess they're coming at you from so many ways. I think some of the newest stuff is maybe heading towards the consumer market first. And so as you try and bring the consumer technologies into the enterprise, I think our biggest challenge is around cybersecurity and evaluating the consumer technologies to ensure that they can meet the qualifications, the specifications that are necessary in an enterprise that is highly regulated across state government. You've got all kinds of entities that have an unending list of regulatory bodies that are overseeing what we're doing, and we've got to make sure that these types of technologies can be leveraged in a way that add value to the users, to the community, but not compromising our security postures. For those of us that have been in the industry for a long time, we've spent most of our career trying to convince people that technology is good and train them on how to use it. And when you talk about the millennials, you're bringing in a workforce that you don't have to convince because they don't know any better. they grew up with all of this, and not only are they convinced it's important, they're bringing their technology with them, they're bringing along their expectations on how the workforce or workplace should function, and it's exciting. You know, they're bringing in fresh ideas. They're highly skilled with technology. They rely heavily on collaboration. They like feedback. They like interaction, and they like action. So it's an interesting dynamic. It certainly puts challenges on an organization in terms of expectations at the different levels, but I think it's a positive impact in terms of how we're seeing organizations evolve with these new ideas and new thoughts. It's kind of inherent in everything we do. Trying to think of a specific project, and I don't know that I can come up with a specific project because it is such a big part of everything that we do in IT. You know, we're there to help the business, we're there to help them become more efficient, to be able to do the things that they're trying to achieve in the most cost-effective manner and leverage technology to do that. So I think that's inherent in who we are and what we're trying to achieve.